Hey kids, welcome to our unit and language lesson combined today, okay? So yesterday Mr. Giordano did a lesson about the rainforests and deforestation, and on Monday Mr. Durant did a lesson about pollution, in particular in the oceans. Today I'm going to talk to you about animals, okay? So have a look at this little slideshow here, this little Google presentation, Google slide. I'm going to show you some animals in Brazil, okay? So this one is called the black-faced lion tamarin. I'm going to send this presentation to you guys so you can see these animals more clearly on my presentation, okay? The Brazilian arboreal mouse, look at him with his googly eyes, isn't he cute? The ring-tailed monkey, the titi monkey or the chichi monkey, I'm not so sure how I pronounce it. Isn't he so cute? The golden-rumped lion tamarin, a particularly wise-looking animal. The northern Bahian blonde chichi monkey. So you see his blonde mane, okay, Juba, his mane. The northern Muriqui monkey, you see it traversing the jungle with his little baby. Isn't that cute? Okay, now, there's some animals that exist in Brazil, okay? Now, I guess many of you have guessed where I'm going with this, okay? What have these animals got in common? These are all endangered species, okay? Actually, not just endangered, they're critically endangered. What does that mean, okay? Endangered means they're at risk, and critical means that it's really serious, okay? It's not like a little bit at risk. These animals may not exist by the time, I don't know, maybe they'll, by the time you guys are adults, they may not exist in the wild anymore, okay? So let me read an article to you about where I got this, these ideas and this information and these animals from, okay? So I found this article and I'm going to share all of this with you on the lesson plan. I found this article, this text, on the Lonely Planet website, okay? So it's a reliable source of information, okay? It's a good source of information. So let me read the text for you and I'll stop and pause to give you a little bit more explanation at some points, okay? Endangered species in Brazil. From the graceful jaguar to peaceful sea turtles, a large number of Brazilian animal species are threatened, okay? Threatened means in danger, their life is at risk. Government and activist programs try to help and protect some of the more well-known species, such as monkeys, whales, turtles, great cats, and predatory birds. So the government and some groups, they try to protect the more well-known, okay, the more like famous ones, okay? But many lesser-known creatures are disappearing, and any species, it doesn't matter how important it may seem, is irreplaceable in the ecosystem. What does that mean, okay? That means that every animal forms part of the food chain, okay? You studied this last week. If we take away one animal, then another animal depends on that source of food for its survival, okay? So every animal is important because they all make up a part of that ecosystem, okay? Now prepare yourself. There's some scary numbers that you're going to hear in a moment in this paragraph. In all, Brazil has 339 threatened wildlife species. 339 threatened wildlife species. According to the 2006 Red List of International Union for the Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Okay, that's an organization that protects animals, okay? It's quite an old one, okay? That's for 2006. Things have probably got worse, I'm sure not better. Of that 339, 124 are birds, the highest number in any country in the world. Humans may not care about the extinction of the Brazilian spiny rice rat or bushy-tailed opossum. Now, but if nothing else, they occupy a spot in the food chain, and their disappearance will forever affect other plants and animals around them. Now, just to find out what those two creatures, those two animals were, it said we may not care so much about those animals. I thought, well, let me just see what animals they are. And then I did a little research and I just put their names in Google, and I found this guy is the Brazilian spiny rice rat. And this one is the bushy-tailed opossum. So we may not care about them, and I'm sure you do care about them, okay? But if you don't care about them, they have an important part in the food chain and in the ecosystem, okay? Now, why is this happening, okay? Why are we killing and creating so many extinct species? There are three main reasons. And I'm going to give you those, I'm going to give you what it says here on the article that I'm reading, but I'm going to share another text with you guys to give you more in-depth so you can read about those reasons, okay? So hunting is responsible for 25% of extinction. Hunting, that's a quarter, okay, 25%. Destruction of habitats accounts for 36%. Destruction of habitats, that's what Miss Giordano was talking about in yesterday's lesson, deforestation, okay? Chopping down the forests, etc. Okay, and the third reason for 39% is the introduction of competing species. Okay, so by introducing other animals into their habitats, this can cause them, it can cause lots of problems for these other species. Okay, even if no one ever hunted a jaguar again, once, okay, jaguar, it would still be at risk of extinction. Why? Because it needs a huge amount of territory to hunt and a large gene pool for mating. So it needs a big space for hunting, and in this space it needs to find a female. The male and female need to find each other so that they can make babies, okay? They need lots of space. Its reduced population and habitat may already mean the jaguar is on its way to extinction and existing in the wild and only existing in zoos. So the jaguar, one of the most famous and beautiful animals here in Brazil, will probably only exist in zoos but in a short time, okay? The numbers in the wild are extremely small, and these animals are in extreme danger, critical danger, okay? So, I'm going to share the full text with you, but it also mentions some other animals here that are the ones I've shared with you are in critical extinction, okay? There's also some animals that it's mentioned are in danger as well, but not as serious as the first animals I've showed you. And these animals are the bushy-tailed opossum that I shared with you already, the buffy-headed marmoset, Kleber's arboreal rice rat. I don't think that's Kleber, I think that's just a name. Or Kleber, sorry, Kleber. Kleber's arboreal rice rat. A giant armadillo. Oh, and the golden-headed lion tamarin. I'll find a picture of that and put it on the plan. Okay. Now, what has this got to do with us? Good question. Now, I'm sure all of you guys care a lot about these animals. I'm sure this is going to make you go, oh my God, I can't believe we're doing that to these animals. But what I want to make a point of is that everything is connected. When we talked about pollution and trash and rubbish and all the things that Mr. Durant was talking about on Tuesday's lesson, and then on Wednesday's lesson, Miss Giordano talked about deforestation. All of these things are connected, okay? If you want to protect animals, you have to think about why we're cutting down the forests, okay? If you want to protect animals, you need to think about what happens to that rubbish that we as a community are generating, okay? That we're producing. And we are, okay? I see it in school all the time, okay? One of the main reasons for deforestation is cutting down trees so that we can farm cows and cattle, and so we can eat beef, okay? Now, in school, I've seen many times children leaving behind carne, beef, on your plate. And sometimes I say to those kids, I say, do you realize that an animal died to be on your plate? It's okay, and it's important. Meat is something which is a very good source of protein, okay? But if you're going to put it on your plate, eat it, okay? Because that is the reason, one of the reasons we're cutting down rainforests, to make space for plants, so that we can have all of these cows and beef, and so we can produce this meat. So if you care about these animals, think about the choices you make in school, okay? Another thing, the trash we produce, the rubbish, the plastic. Okay, I've been to birthday parties in St. Francis, and I've seen the amount of gifts that kids receive that I'm sure are never even taken out of the box, many of them. What about having a birthday party when you ask your friends not to give a gift? Because most of those presents are not being used. Now, I'm just giving you a couple of ideas, okay? But if you care about the animals, don't just think that you want to save the animals. Think about everything. Think about the pollution. Think about your attitude towards the food that's on your plate, okay? That's how you can make a difference, okay? And if we've shown anything with this coronavirus, how our reaction to it globally, it's shown that we can make a difference. We can change things that we think need to be changed, okay? We can do drastic, very big things. Everybody's been inside their house for nearly 3 months to protect ourselves from this virus. If we can do this with a virus, we can do this with anything that we want to do, okay, globally. But let's start with each one of us, the choices that we make, okay?